What's going on, YouTube? This is BBSP. It's been a while and everything since the NBA Finals has ended, and a lot of things have happened. Free agency is starting to come up out in the NBA. Of course, the NFL is around the corner, I guess. I mean, I'm not a religious watcher of the NFL no more, though I still like the New York Giants. Been a fan since 1986. And, I'm going to cover some games with the NFL, especially those involving the New York Giants, and for me, I'll probably just cover on a game-by-game basis. I'll do some other games depending on what kind of game is it, who's playing, and, what's at stake as far as, like, playoff position and whatever. And, depending on if it's a big game, whatever, like I said, I'll cover it. I'll cover it briefly, but more importantly than not, I'll probably, doing a brief, starting in when the season starts, brief game by game breakdown of the Giants and their schedule. But getting back to NBA free agency, well, to start, there's one blockbuster trade that everybody knows about by now, and that's Russell Westbrook going to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody, has to let me know what's going on with that. So, KCP. It's KCP. KCP, a trade that was made during the draft. And, hey, looks like we got another big three. Another big three. As far as, like, names go. The reason I say names is because, for me, I'm kind of on a wait-and-see approach with this whole thing because we got to remember, just because they're big names doesn't mean it's going to work in the long term, all right? We got to think about this. Lakers are coming off a season as to where they got knocked off in the first round by the Phoenix Suns, all right? And there's a lot of shit was off kilter as far as practice, as far as workout regimen, as far as the schedule, condensed season, and, it kind of took some years off of LeBron James, if we ain't gonna lie, I mean, he's heading into his 19th season. A lot of great players in the 19th season are either role players at this point nor retired. So there's that. And going into next season, what is LeBron James actually going to look like? Because Father Time is undefeated. Father Time takes the best out of everybody. Best out of everyone and shit, So we're going to have to see how he looks like. What he looks like. Is he going to bounce back before pre-injury with the high ankle sprain? Because you got to think, that high ankle sprain, he shouldn't have been out. He shouldn't have been out there when you think about it. That high ankle sprain, at the very least, that's like a 2 to 3 month recovery time period. Especially when you're dealing with the high ankle sprain, you're starting to involve bone structure, you're starting to involve Achilles tendons. He's lucky that one career ender right there, man. It was a reckless play, but at the end of the day, it happened. So we got to take that into account. And Anthony Davis, for great of a player as he is, he's very, very injury prone. You got to think, even when his first year in LA, he missed like maybe 8 or 9 games due to injury. something, some shit like that. I don't know. I gotta see, but I do know he missed like 10, 11, 12 games that year. That first year with the Lakers, he missed 10, 11 games. And it's like that's a glaring issue. That's a glaring issue right now when you're dealing with the Lakers and Anthony Davis because if he can't stay healthy, then how good can the Lakers even be? Because when you think about it, man, he was an anchor on defense. You know, he was an anchor. He was the one that drove the defense down low. He gave the Lakers height, gave the Lakers advantage in the front court. The number one reason why he had advantage of the Lakers had advantage of the front court and shit. You know, but you got to ask yourself, can AD still stay healthy at least for 2/3 of a season? 2/3 of a season. Can AD stay healthy, man? Because when you think about it, any little nick or knack, it seems like he's out for every 2 or 3 games. And, it's like when you're trying to build a whole new team, especially with Russell Westbrook, you're going to have to build chemistry, and him being injured, him being hurt, could potentially hurt that chemistry, whatever, and shit. When you really think about it, it could potentially hurt the chemistry, especially when they're trying to get that shit together. Between those three, that chemistry is going to be very crucial, very vital and shit. Especially when you think this is probably going to be a whole new team next year. I'm thinking they already traded away KCP, Kuzma, and Caldwell Pope. Montrezl Harrell and shit, But I'm thinking like, okay, they're probably not done making moves. I mean, the shooter's still on the team, I think, but I know the Lakers are not done making moves. But but that's gonna be a whole new team next year. And if Anthony Davis is out for an extended period of time, that's gonna hurt them even more. And another thing I wanted to touch on is the shooting. Lakers were one of the worst shooting teams in the league last year. When you take a look at the nights when LeBron's missing free throws, the role players can't hit this, even the bottom of the ocean most nights. They had a lot to do. All had a lot to do with them coming up short in the playoffs this year. When you think about it, because you need shooters ultimately. I mean, I'm not saying they need to be knocked down, drag out shooters and shit, but you definitely need those shooters to dispel the double teams that AD, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook are gonna see. Because if you can't shoot, then the same shit is gonna happen. The same shit is gonna happen all over again. They're gonna clog the paint, close the driving lanes, and dare all those below average to mediocre shooters to shoot the rock. But my thing with Westbrook, I like Russell Westbrook. I'm a Russell Westbrook fan. I think he gets unfairly criticized sometimes for a lot of team shortcomings. But the one thing I gotta say is that LeBron and Russell Westbrook are pretty much the same player. They're ball dominant players who need the ball in their hands at a certain point in the game, And I'm just wondering, how is that dynamic actually going to work? I mean, from what I understand and shit, LeBron is going to move to the 4, and AD is going to move to the 5 full time. If that's the case, then they've already committed to Russ Westbrook playing the point. But I'm just trying to figure out how is that dynamic going to work, because at some point during the game is tight. LeBron's gonna be want to be on the ball to facilitate the offense, and how is Westbrook going to be able to fit in that when Russell Westbrook does the same? You know, they're pretty much both LeBron and Russell Westbrook are playmakers. You know, they're playmakers that facilitate the offense and bring versatility to an offense. But at the same time, when you got two ball dominant players, one player is going to have to make a sacrifice. You know, one player is going to have to change his game overall when you think about it, because it can't be one of the same. When you got two ball dominant players, you're going to run into a problem and shit. Especially, those ball dominant players are used to playing on the ball. Both Russell Westbrook and LeBron James are both used to playing on the ball and shit. So, trying to see how that dynamic's going to work. I'm going to be honest, I'm still up in the air about it. Now, if they can be able to get some shooters, some respectable shooters, like I said, they ain't got to be knocked down, drag down shooters, just some respectable shooters to where they're not shooting 2 for 18 or 3 for 25 every night. From what I'm hearing, they still might get Buddy Hield, though I don't see how that's happening. Dwight Howard might be an option. Now, he's not a shooter, he's a big man. JJ Redick might be an option. From what I'm hearing, go subscribe to my boy Bang's channel. I watched this live stream earlier, and there's a report that DeMar DeRozan is willing to take a pay cut to join the Lakers. I don't know if that's going to happen. It's going to help them shooting wise, but it could definitely help them as far as being more versatile on offense and bringing some semblance of shooting, some consistent shooting, and shit. You know what I mean? But like I said before, I'm still on the fence about this whole thing. Like I said, LeBron is 37 years old, and his prime is not there. You can basically say LeBron is at the tail end of his career now. You know what I mean? Like going to his 19th season, 36, going on 37. How much does he actually have left in the tank? And I'm starting to think they made this trade because they're already looking at the post LeBron James era with the Lakers. It's that, and I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think the Lakers trust AD's health long term. I mean, when you go back, you go back to even in the bubble when they had the playoffs in the bubble, he got hurt during the playoffs like X amount of times, and especially in the finals, the way you thought he was finished. Then it comes last year, and he has the Achilles, and then in the playoffs, he hurts his hamstring. That's a whole lot of injuries, even though he's only been there for a year and a half. Going on 2 years. That's a lot of injuries to be having. That's a whole lot of injuries to be having. And when you think about it, I think they got Russell Westbrook as an insurance policy for Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Because number one, LeBron James, I'll give him 2 more years max, and he's out of here. And Anthony Davis, they just don't trust his health, man. They do not trust his health. So, I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I got my reservations about it. The jury's still out. And for those clowns out here, these dullards, these idiots, these busters out here that's saying this shit is a super team, you need your basketball pass goddamn revolt. First, it's LeBron is no longer a top 5 player in the league. you got some clowns out here trying to say that he's not even top 10 all time. You know? And then 80 is soft, right? 80 is fucking soft. And Russell Westbrook is a cancer. But I just find it conveniently that the same people that are saying now that this is a super team, for the same three players that they're slandering, they had no smoke for the Brooklyn Nets last year. Now all of a sudden they want to move the fucking goalposts. I just find it funny, man, like how that shit goes. Especially when it pertains to a team with LeBron James on it. Now all of a sudden it's a super team when yesterday, 24 hours ago, even last week, LeBron was washed up. LeBron was finished. 80 is soft. And nobody wants to play with Russell Westbrook. So I just find it funny and convenient that all this super team talk pops up the moment this trade goes down. But, you know, when it was early, even before all this shit, nobody gave a fuck about Russell Westbrook. Nobody gave a damn about Russell Westbrook. Everybody was just saying he was a cancer, you know, and you can't win with this dude. Now it's like they propping Russell Westbrook up, yet to shit on LeBron again. Talk about he needs a super team to win, all this bullshit, you know. But and shit don't surprise me no more, man. Like, the shit don't surprise me no more, man. Shit don't surprise me no more. I knew this shit was gonna happen, you know. Even, you know, never mind the fact that LeBron James in his 19th season, number one. Number two, AD has to prove he's still healthy. And number two, Russell Westbrook has to prove he can change his game for the betterment of winning. But never mind that shit. All people see is another opportunity to shit on LeBron. I just find it funny and convenient that this bullshit is brought up. But yet, you got the same clowns out here in the media and out here on YouTube and social media regurgitating the same washed up, the same watered down bullshit ass points that you hear Stephen A. Snitch and Skip Bayless and guys like fucking Rob Parker reiterate. But like I said, I got my reservations about this whole thing. They need shooters in the worst way. Like I said, they don't need no knockdown, drag out shooters. All they need is just shooters to where they're respectable and shit, you know? But they're not done. I know the Lakers ain't done and shit. We'll see how the team comes. We'll see how that team comes about. But I'm not gonna call no championship yet. I wouldn't call no championship yet. Depending on what they do in free agency, the rest of free agency, you know, we gotta see it unfold. But let me know what y'all think. Hit like and subscribe.